Hello everyone! Because I made some modifications to my routine checklists during my recent quarterly reset, I wanted to show off what I'm doing now so you can see an example of how my planning system evolves. For comparison, this is my previous set of routine checklists, so you can see how they were organized until recently. I had a morning routine, a mid-morning routine, a weekly house chore checklist, a creative commute, which is my transition routine to get ready to work at my desk on writing or video work, this combination pre- and post-work routine for my part-time job, and this bedtime routine. You can check out this other video if you'd like a breakdown on those old checklists, but here is how it looks now. I have streamlined my morning routine and separated it into a couple of parts. It's basically the same stuff as before, but it feels less cramped and more roomy, and I like the fact that it's in small chunks instead of one long list. My ability to actually follow through on routines and tasks I set for myself is highly dependent on whether the vibes are good or bad, and I would definitely say that these vibes are better. My morning routine non-negotiables are to wake up to my sunlight alarm clock, wash my face, drink water, and do a 2-minute calisthenics exercise. Then my goal is to choose one thing off this mental enrichment menu every morning, either meditation, doing a writing sprint, or studying language. I've been having a hard time choosing what to eat for brunch recently, so I put this reminder here that it's important to take time to decide what to eat. Then I also have to prep it, and I would have to do that regardless, so this box is here more to provide a reward for checking off something I have to do, whether I like it or not. And finally, I'd like to make more thoughtful decisions about content to watch while I eat, so this PW stands for pair with, because I'm thinking about content menus to go with my food like it's a wine pairing. Okay, so I've made a bunch of modifications to my home routines. The pivot is what I'm calling the awkward transition from me eating brunch and chilling and watching YouTube to me sitting down at my desk with a clear head and the intention to get some specific work done. I'm going to put on music, do my comfy check, which is just a little check-in with my physical body and stimulation levels, making sure that I feel well regulated and dealing with it if I'm not. I have the option to update my planners, which can help me get clarity to focus on work. And then I have a prompt to check in with my household. Dealing with my surroundings and my environment is one final method to clear my head. I have a prompt to clear surfaces, to stay on top of chores with my mini chore checklist, and taking care of any urgent needs that arise unexpectedly. So this chore prompt redirects me to my mini chore checklist, which I'm trying for the first time. I used to just have a rotating chore list with nothing assigned to any specific day because I wanted the freedom to choose. But more often than not, things just weren't getting done because I wasn't choosing to do them at all. So for this quarter, we're trying something new. I have assigned 2 or 3 specific chores to certain days of the week, and some of it is based on habits I already have. Some of it is associations I want to make, and some of it is just total trial and error. Monday is a day that I try to dust and always end up vacuuming instead, so I just decided to lean in and make it a vacuuming day. My Monday tasks are to vacuum the bedroom, vacuum the living room, and clean the vacuum. Tuesday is the day I'm going to try to dust. I know I'm supposed to do this before I vacuum so the dust can settle, but honestly, because of my schedule and my partner's work schedule and our respective dust allergies, this was the best reliable day to schedule it without, triggering his asthma. Wednesday is already my household errand day, laundry day, and rabbit cage cleaning day. Thursday I'm going to try to make into the office clean and office vacuum day. Friday, I'm going to try to clean the bathtub and shower more regularly. And the weekend is when we already do our weekly reset, which involves giving some attention to the kitchen, the bathroom, and tidying all rooms. After I've checked off my chores for the day, I can go back to this routine list for my creative commute, which just reminds me to set up my workspace, make the background environment pleasant, prep a drink and snack for myself, and set a starting intention. When I do these creative work sessions, I'm going to consult my new work from home checklist. The top part is for me to track which projects I work on, whether it's related to household work, writing, making YouTube videos, playing with planners, or picking something out of my project menu system. This break bingo list is the new thing I'm most excited about. Recently, I was doing a 3-day writing challenge with some friends, and I made myself a break bingo card for the weekend, which had lots of ideas for how I could support myself through a writing marathon. It turned out to be surprisingly useful and satisfying, and I find that giving myself a side quest on days when I'm doing creative work helps me focus. It's like I can't be too neurotic or self-critical about the work because I'm busy. There's honestly so many benefits to it. Having this list and trying to check off as many as possible in one work session improves the quality of my breaks, it makes me more likely to take breaks instead of feeling like it's a distraction or a waste of time, and it helps my body feel better instead of ending the day sore and strained. I'm not actually going to use this checklist like real bingo, but the name makes it feel more like a game and less like an obligation. On my break bingo list, I have reminders to stretch my wrists, go for 2 minutes on the stair stepper, do a quick cardio dance or choreography for a couple of minutes, do 2 or 3 minutes of body weight exercises, use this stretch band to wake up my arms and shoulders, fix a snack, drink an entire glass of water, clean something small around the house, move locations like from a sitting desk to a standing desk, and take an eye break. On the next page, I have 2 final routine checklists. On the left side is my pre- and post-work routine. This is for before I leave the house and after I come home from work. Before work, I plan out my workday, pack my bag, shower, and get ready. As a quick note, I do have expanded routine checklists for some of these things, like a master list of shower routines, but I keep that separate and I am not writing that out every week. For my post-work routine, I take melatonin, eat dinner, dim the lights, consult my dopamine menu, put on background music or ASMR, and I'm also now challenging myself to start a meditation atomic habit. So 10 breaths is about 2 minutes. Last but not least is my bedtime routine. I've never been able to enforce a bedtime routine, to be honest. I have a lot of stress and resistance around sleeping, but I am trying to set some rules and boundaries to train myself to get used to it slowly over time. Because I have a partner, this routine was also developed in association with him and his needs. So 10:30 is when we have a reminder to pull away from our respective computer screens or whatever activities we're engaged in and check in with each other. This is when we remind ourselves about our meal plans for the next day, move things from the freezer to the fridge to defrost, and do any other strategizing like confirming schedule changes or work hours so we're on the same page. I'll also check my bullet journal and make a plan for the next day if I don't have one already. After that, we're trying to get back to the habit of doing a short, like 5-minute yoga routine before bed. We did successfully keep this habit for like a full year before falling off a few months ago, so we've decided to try again. After we make our plans and stretch, it's time to put the house to bed. This is when we clean up after dinner, reset the kitchen as much as we can, plug in phones, turn off lights, adjust temperature, give our pet bunny some more attention, and all the little things that need to be tended to before bed. Finally, there's a couple of quick items for personal hygiene and self-care. I'm trying to get more consistent about braiding my hair or putting it in a protective style for sleep, brushing my teeth, and flossing. The goal is to be in bed, even if not asleep, by 11:15. I try to remember to put on some ASMR to drown out obnoxious city noises, and I'm also trying to track my sleep so I have better data to analyze about my sleep patterns. And these are my current routines. I have total freedom to modify them if they don't work for me, but I'm going to try them for the next quarter at least, and then reassess. I recently published a video explaining how I do my quarterly reset if you're interested in a step-by-step guide that will encourage you to think deeply about some of these life planning questions. And let me know if you're interested in hearing more about my bedtime routine, specifically the cozy caretaking idea of putting the house to bed. I've been sort of scripting it and playing around with that idea for a while, so let me know if it interests you. Otherwise, let me know what routines are going well for you in your life right now and which ones you might be trying to improve. If you have any tips to share or advice you'd like to add the community, please feel free to get in the comments. Hope to see you there, and have a good one, everybody.